Communication. COMMUNICATINOS.
Tiffany Henyard is what you get when you put hood rats with no respect for themselves or others in office.
I met that Mayor Tahoe Tiffany, and I must say she has an odor. Definitely a hood booger.
Not only is she the worst mayor in America, Henyard is a true disgrace to black people everywhere.
First off, I want to go ahead and say hello, everyone. How are you? Hope you're all having an amazing day. Now that we got that out the way, yes, I am a roll of toilet paper. Reason being, we're talking a lot today. All right. And I mean, everyone already is familiar with this person back here. She talks a lot of and if you follow me back here with her, you guys can see, look at what she has on. This is, she's dressed like a gangster Nino Brown in the movie New Jack City. Yeah, that's cool. And I mean, look at the residents. They poor residents over here. They look confused. Trustees, they look confused. So it's a lot of going around. I thought being toilet paper today would be fitting. So yeah. Now, before we dive into today's video, I wanted to issue a strong disclaimer. If you are a fan of Tiffany A. Henyard, you may find the content ahead offensive. All right, please be advised that I in no way, shape, or form support Tiffany A. Henyard or her actions against the residents of Dolton. Please be aware. All right, frankly, I believe that her conduct is so egregious that a life sentence wouldn't be unwarranted. And I even think her mother should face consequences for raising someone so capable of such misdeeds. One can only imagine the lessons being imparted on her poor daughter. Perhaps a crash course in scamming and lying, maybe. I wouldn't even be surprised if they have who can make up the best lie in the shortest amount of time contest at home. That's the type of person that this person is. However, let me be clear. This video is intended for entertainment and educational purposes only. Everything I express here are my opinions, not facts. Okay? I strongly encourage you to do your own research and form your own conclusions. Now, until the day that this wicked witch of the Southlands is in handcuffs, everything remains allegedly. Thanks for your understanding. Now, let's get into the video.
He just a minion with opinion. Get out your feelings, you ain't a leader, but I'm one in a million. Come and share your opinion. It's my dominion. Let's go.
Hey, what's going on, everyone? I hope everyone is enjoying their day. I want to welcome you all to my channel. I'm just a million with an opinion. And, you know, I just want everybody to stay out their feelings. These are just my opinions. These are just my thoughts. And I'm a nobody right now. So, you know, you shouldn't get too upset. With that being said, we're going to talk about somebody that everybody has talked about. I'm sure everyone's tired of talking about her, but I'm going to talk about her today because she had brought up something in a recent board meeting that I thought was very interesting. And it kind of brought me to what's going on in Houston, Texas, where I'm at. And I thought wondered if there could be a correlation. So I wanted to bring it to you guys' attention, and maybe you guys can help me figure out if there's a correlation between the two. All right. But the first thing I wanted to do was give a slight roast to Tiffany Henyard. She deserves it. It's her birthday. I think that we should definitely honor her by giving her a slight little roast. and then we'll get into the more important things, especially when it comes to Tiffany Henyard. You know, first, I feel like you have to laugh at this broad so you could keep from crying for the residents. You know what I mean? All right, so without further ado, I wanted to start off by first off saying, look at what you stole. You stole a man who had an entire family, who was still married while you were talking to him, and you're a public servant. You know, is this you're the single mom, right? Is this the example that you want to set for young women to go after married men? You know, she wants what her baby's father and his wife now have. As you guys can see, they're married. They had a baby shower for their baby. They're living a beautiful life. You know, nothing fake. They're not having to defraud the taxpayers out of their hard-earned money to live the life that they're living, while Kamal Woods, this is what he gave up, and now he's in bars, you know, and at the hospital while she gets the BBL. No, I'm joking. I don't know if that's why she was in the hospital, but that's what, you know, she prefers. You know, look at them. They look gorgeous together, okay? And then this woman, she says that she's for the kids and she's for the children, and she, you know, everybody should be for the kids and cleaning up your own backyard. But while she's trying to have these expensive, elaborate events on the taxpayers' dime, these one-day events, few-hour events, the park district is trying to desperately clean up and upgrade the equipment in the parks. Something that's going to be there permanently, something that they don't have to have an event for to be able to enjoy, because apparently the rink that you have isn't something that can be enjoyed by the public on a daily basis. You know, you want the pool to be rehabbed and redone with, you know, no proof of insurance, or you're not willing to show any proof of insurance, but yet you won't even give the park district permits so that they can get $600,000 in grants. You should win Mayor and Mother of the Year. You scum of the earth, you. Also, as you guys can see, beyond her not being able to actually find a man for herself that's single, she has to take a married man from his happy family, because just a year prior to, in 2022, he had just purchased his wife a Range Rover. If you guys look in Facebook and if you see who his wife was, then you will see that he recently had purchased her Range Rover. So, with that being said, Tiffany, you are a homewrecker, okay? And your mom should go to jail too for raising you, for the way that she raised you, to steal from, to do what looks like stealing from the residents of Dolton and from the residents that are also within the Thornton Township. You know what? She's like the godmother or something. Anyways, that's just my little rant. We can go ahead and move on to the important, serious stuff. Happy birthday, Tiffany. You deserve everything that's coming your way.
When people say they did not, all you have to do is go in FOIA and get the documentation and then follow the money, and you'll know who's raising it and who's not. Next, I would like to announce that people talk about getting demos done. When I first came here, we was doing a ton of demolition here in our village. When the board decided to stop paying vendors, a lot of things stopped because vendors said they weren't going to do work without getting paid. So to the gentleman that stated that we were supposed to demo a house, it probably was on the list, just like many other properties are on the list waiting demolition. Currently now, we're going to see if we can utilize Public Works to get the property down for you. But right now, we normally have companies come in, they demo the property because Public Works has their hands full with a ton of work. Also, when they keep taking concrete vendors out of the list, and I'm pretty sure Stacy will speak to this later, we are not able to pour concrete because they won't pay the concrete vendors. These are the issues that we have, as well as water main breaks. But when they take vendors out, and that's what people don't understand, the backstory of things, we cannot get work done. Before we could call a vendor, they'll come out and they'll wait to get paid at next board meeting. But because of all the controversy and the mess and the lies that they see on TV, when they come out the next month to get payment and they see the board removing them, they are afraid to come and do work in fear of not getting paid. So I just want to point that out and clear it up for those that don't understand what's going on.
All right, so that was the clip from the recent board meeting, and it really caused the alarm bells in my head to really just start ringing because it kind of brought me to the case where Patrice Lee, who was the maintenance manager of Public Works, or the water department here in Houston, Texas, she was arrested and charged with bribery charges and just all types of corruption charges. I actually included that clip. The news outlets were covering it. It became national news. And so I included that clip. And what I want you guys to do is to watch this clip objectively, of course, and let me know if you think that there's any correlation, because I know that Tiffany Henyard keeps talking about the concrete workers and they're not getting paid, and all the water main break leaks and these emergencies that are taking place where the water mains are breaking in the middle of the night while you guys are eating Thanksgiving dinner, and she has to figure it out. And so she hires these companies to come out and do the work under the pretense that the following month they would get paid. But because there are no bids going out, they don't know what's going on. They don't know who these companies are. They don't know if they can find someone who can maybe charge a lower amount because there's no bids being done. Then, yeah, it kind of takes me to, could this possibly have a correlation to the case that these people were just charged here in Houston with? You guys take a look at the clip. Again, let me know. Put it in the comment section if you think that there are similarities, if you think that I'm just delusional, whatever the case may be. I'm just interested. Here's the clip.
And tonight, a Public Works maintenance manager and 4 vendors are facing charges in a public corruption bribery scheme. A total of 14 felony charges are now filed against 7 defendants. Fox 26's Randy Wallace joins us live from the courthouse.
Yeah, Anthony. Now, former Public Works manager Patrice Lee's alleged criminal enterprise consisted of 3 separate schemes. Investigators say she and her co-defendants reaped hundreds of thousands of dollars.
At least $750,000 went into the pockets of Patrice Lee, her brother, and others.
In August of 2020, 45-year-old Patrice Lee was promoted to Public Works maintenance manager. She had access to an $80 million emergency fund for waterline breaks and inspections.
In the summer and fall of 2022, Patrice Lee and at least 2 businessmen came up with a scheme to essentially put her on the payroll as a consultant of the very same companies that were getting contracts and doing business with her department at the city.
Investigators say for the so-called consulting fee vendors paid, Lee gave them favorable treatment, faster payment, and bigger deals with the city.
Eventually, Patrice Lee found 2 more defendants that were willing to enter into a similar scheme, and then finally, along with her brother, formed a shell company that directly was a way for her to essentially divert over $400,000 of city money to herself.
Others charged in the scheme include Lee's brother, 31-year-old Andrew Travis Thomas, and another former city public works employee, 33-year-old Danielle Hertz. The owners of 4 businesses Lee gave contracts to are also criminally charged.
The same people were handling the repairs on an emergency basis, the inspections on an emergency basis, and the delivery of contracts to certain vendors. All of the normal checks and balances were averted.
Houston has a shortfall in its financial budget. We cannot ask for additional money until we can assure that every dollar is being honestly used to run city government.
Not knowing which repairs were good and which are bad, this may be a problem that we continue to pay for as taxpayers.
The investigation is ongoing. More arrests and charges could be filed. Now, anyone with any information is urged to contact the Texas Rangers at 281-517-1400. Reporting live from the courthouse, Randy Wallace, Fox 26 News.
So as you guys can see, even here in Houston, Texas, we have issues with corruption. We have issues with the water department, public works, and the water main breaks. As a matter of fact, those people were charged. But we also have issues with our police department. So after watching that particular clip, I want you guys to let me know if you felt like there was like any type of correlation, first off. And then secondly, here is the clip for our police chief who recently resigned due to another scandal because over 250,000 cases were essentially shelved and coded under some code that should never have been used for suspended due to lack of personnel. So here is, the report on what happened with our police department.
Major shakeup for the country's 5th largest police department. Houston Police Chief Troy Finner abruptly retiring amid an investigation into hundreds of thousands of cases that were dropped, including sexual assault allegations due to lack of staffing.
I'm very confident it was in the best interest for Houston, the department, and for Chief Finner.
Back in February, Finner revealed to the public for the first time that since 2016, more than 264,000 cases were never investigated because officers had the option of using internal code SL, meaning suspended for lack of personnel.
We added additional investigators in 2018. We added additional investigators in 2021.
The Houston Police Department has just 2 officers for every 1,000 residents as of March of this year. For comparison, Chicago is about the same size and has 4 officers for every 1,000 people. Finner said he first learned the code was being used in 2021.
At that time, I directed Special Victims Division to stop using this code.
But emails obtained by our Houston affiliate KPRC show Finner referencing the lack of personnel code 3 years prior in 2018 while he was an assistant chief. The station pressing him about that email.
It's something that I didn't know about, and I definitely didn't remember that.
Up to 4,000 of those uninvestigated cases involved sexual assault allegations, according to the department, due to the code, which law enforcement experts say is unusual.
Typically, if it is a violent crime against a person, those cases are assigned, period.
The department posting on X that all the adult sexual assault cases were reviewed, but 3,500 of them have no leads, though noting those could be reopened if potential victims come forward with additional information.
The more time that goes by, the more evidence, witnesses become stale, right? Is this information still good?
But in a state where as many as a third of adults are sexual assault survivors, this is about more than just numbers. It's about lives. HPD confirming it learned a survivor of one of those suspended cases died by suicide when officers went to follow up. And Ellison, the department is now saying that SL code suspended for lack of personnel is no longer in use. They say it's no longer an option for officers. Meanwhile, the mayor did launch an independent investigation upon finding out about all of this, and the preliminary results of that, those are expected next week.
Thanks for watching. Stay updated about breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app or follow us on social media.
So there you have it, people. Our police chief was also a part of some corrupt behavior, I would say, and it led him to have to resign or retire early, and it's definitely sad to hear that one of the victims who had their case shelved, unfortunately, deleted themselves from the world. So, that's not a good look. And, him resigning was probably the best thing that he could do. But what do you guys think? Like I said, every dog has its day. And I think that it's only a matter of time. Do I feel like the feds are taking a long time? Absolutely, because every time you see her engage in her disrespectful type of behavior, you just want justice to be served for the people of Dolton. And I believe that it is coming. It's just going to take a little time. Now, in terms of Houston, our previous mayor was the one who, pretty much made the request for the $25 million additional dollars to help with water main break emergencies. And so I'm not saying that he was a part of the scheme or maybe he orchestrated it or whatever the case may be, because he is no longer our mayor, respectfully. And so I'm just going to play this clip. I'm going to play my outro first. And if you guys want to watch the clip afterwards, you're more than welcome to. But yeah, it just gives a little insight as to why this money was afforded to the water department in this large lump sum, and how she had so much access to these funds. All right. So with that being said, I love you guys. I'm so glad that the attention is coming to Tiffany that needs to come to Tiffany, and I just can't wait for justice to be served. If you like the video, you can show me by pressing the thumbs up button. If you share the video, that will be amazing to let everyone know that, the time is going to come. She will get her day. And it's hopefully going to be sooner than later. But until then, also, if you haven't already, please consider subscribing and leaving a comment. Definitely leave a comment, if nothing else, because I definitely want to know what you guys are thinking about. I know you guys have been completely inundated with Tiffany Henyard videos. I have as well. I watch all of them still because they are all still very interesting for the most part. But yeah, that's my rant. I hope to see you guys on the next video. I have another video coming up talking about how there's so many official people now that are coming out against Tiffany. And so, and there's also an investigation regarding another company that she may have been involved with some corruption activity. And so there's some videos that I'm going to go ahead and take the time and come out with, should be this week or within the next few days. So please go ahead and subscribe, press the notification bell if you need to remind you. But until then, I'm just a minion with an opinion. Y'all remember that. Please stay out your feelings. All right. Take care.
You know what the deal is, like I get it more, always good more.
bitch, you know she go.
Ahead at 11, what's happening with Houston's water mains? City leaders say we are seeing more of this than ever before. And good morning, everybody. I'm Jeff Ealing. Today, the mayor said that Houston is being overwhelmed by water main breaks. ABC 13 reporter Courtney Fisher was at this morning's city council meeting. She is live at City Hall to tell us more about what appears to be a growing problem in the city. Good morning to you, Courtney.
Yeah, good morning, Jeff. The bottom line is that the city says that it needs between $22 and $25 million to fix emergency valves, to fix water lines that are breaking. Why? Well, take a look. You might have driven past one of these in the last few months, a water main break. And as you said, the mayor says that it's happening more and more often and that it's a direct result from serious drought. That was pointed out this morning by council member Abby Kamen. Now, for some people, it's been really bad. In fact, get this, there's a neighborhood in Houston where people have been waiting going on 3 weeks now for a water main to be fixed. We learned that this morning. That's according to Kamen. When a main breaks, it means, of course, we know this, low water pressure, or worse, no water at all for some time. So if we're seeing more and more main breaks, and city leaders say it's because of aging valves, they want money to repair and replace. Well, why weren't we prepared for this? Mayor Sylvester Turner points out we usually see about 400 water main breaks on an average day, and this past summer, that number shot up to as many as 1,100 breaks in one day. Jeff, you said it. We were being overwhelmed. Those are Mayor Sylvester Turner's words, and it costs big time.
The infrastructure underneath our grounds is aging. As it gets hotter, things start shifting, things start breaking. So as best as possible, I think it's going to be important for us to kind of get in ahead of time. Now, what that means is that it will create inconvenience, you know, when you're going in and replacing that infrastructure. But I agree, we are tracking, and now we need to assess what's the best infrastructure to put in place to mitigate future maintenance leaks.
Get this morning alone, according to Public Works, there were 632 active leaks. That stat shared with us this morning. So now the city's looking at all options to pay for this. Again, between $22 and $25 million. That's the cost on the table. We've got a reporter following up on this today because there are still so many questions on this, but clearly a major, major problem in the city of Houston. For now, reporting live downtown, Courtney Fisher, ABC 13 Eyewitness News.